Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to install Agda on your computer. I'm going to assume that you have access to some kind of terminal and that you have already installed the Glasgow Haskell compiler and the Cabal tool. So I have version 8.6.5 of GHC and version 2.4.1 of Cabal, and that's working fine for me, so it's probably working fine for you as well, but other versions are possible. And in short, we're going to follow these installation instructions that you can find in the Agda documentation under installation. And here you can also see some other prerequisites that you might need to install. Okay, but let's do this also. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that where Cabal puts binaries is actually in our path. So we can check this by doing env and grepping for path, all capitals. And we can see that indeed, here is the path, and .cabal/bin is in here, and it's because I have added this to my .profile, so you might have to do something similar. And what you see here is here I'm adding to the path, I'm adding this directory so that bash will find these binaries that we are going to install. Okay, so we've done that, that's the first step, and after that we will use Cabal. And we're going to use all of the new commands, so there's a prefix of new dash. And the first thing we do is we update the list of packages. So we do a cabal new dash update. Okay, so after we've done that, we can install Agda. So we do cabal new dash install, and we also install two of the prerequisites that you most likely won't have. So that's Alex and happy, that's the lexer and the parser, and Agda with a capital A, and then we press enter and then we wait quite a long time. Okay, so we are finally done. So just to check that this is still working, we can try to ask Agda for its version, and we get 2611, perfect. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we also need to do Agda mode setup to set up the Agda mode, and it will do something to your Emacs file, and that's all fine. Okay, so finally we also need to install the Agda standard library. So I'll close this tab, and if you Google for Agda standard library, then you'll get this GitHub page. And if you go down here, we can look at the installation instructions. So just follow this, skip straight to step 2, and here, so we download the tarball of the library, then we unpack it like this. It's going to unpack into its own directory. Okay, then we can skip this optional step, but we do have to register the library so that Agda knows where to find it. So we do this by, first of all, we need to know the path to this Agda lib file. So I'm going to copy that, and then I am going to open my home directory -agda/libraries. So you probably don't have this file, that's fine, just open an empty file at this place. Okay, so here's a list of libraries that Agda knows about. So we're just going to add the thing we just downloaded, the path to the Agda lib file in here as well. Let me save that, and if we want, we could also add the name of the library, which is standard-library, to this default file, as we already have it in here, so that is always picked up. You don't have to do that, but you could do that. Okay, so finally let's just see that it's all working. So I will open Emacs in any file ending in .agda. So I like to call it a.agda. like this. Okay, and the first thing we see is that we have an Agda menu, so the Agda mode is working. And we can ask it for its version if we want, it's the same one. And to check that also the standard library is working, let's do open, import, and then some module from the standard library, for example, data.bool. Okay, and then below that, Agda load. And we see that it's starting to check all of the standard library, so everything is perfectly installed and we are ready to go. Well, congratulations.